Hello everybody, this is Quercus rubra of the family Fagaceae, rubra meaning red and Fagaceae being the beech family. This is northern red oak or just red oak. The leaves are alternate and simple as with our other oaks. They tend to have many lobes, typically anywhere from 7 to 9. They are more shallow than some of the other red oaks. Remember, Quercus coccinea can have very deep dissections, as can Quercus shumardii. This really only comes about a third of the way towards the midribs, so very shallow sinuses and lobing. One thing as well to remember about the leaves, these leaves are pretty uniform between sun and shade leaves. Remember, light can have a difference on how those leaves look. Quercus coccinea, remember, it can be very deeply dissected at the very top of the crown where it gets a lot more light. This is pretty uniform, so try and get an eye for the canopy and see if you can differentiate between those, because that's a pretty good tell. These leaves are also pretty totally glabrous. You may find some hairs in the axils of the leaves, but otherwise, if you feel the bottoms, they shouldn't have any hairs on them whatsoever. That's a pretty good differentiation between Quercus velutina, black oak, which we'll learn later in the semester. So totally hairless, remember that. The bark, as you can see here, it's a pretty dark gray with very prominent ski trails. They're a very bright, almost white color. They're kind of shiny in appearance even. They get much more broad as the tree gets older. This isn't really a great example because it's raining and the bark is much darker than usual, but when you're walking through the woods, you can see this from pretty far. Those white ski trails will pop out from a pretty good distance. And they go pretty much all the way down to the ground almost. Remember, Quercus coccinea, that's really maybe 20, 30 feet up, but this one will go almost all the way down to the ground where you can see ski trails. So the fruit is a nut that develops in the fall. It's very large, as you can see here. We're going to use the term fat man in a beret to help you remember. It's a very large nut with a very shallow acorn cap. So that should be a pretty good way to remember this one. Other than that, the tree has pretty high wood value. It's very defect-free lumber. And it has similar wood and wildlife uses as other red oaks. So this has been Quercus rubra of the family Fagaceae, northern red oak or just red oak.